Another officer is now no more. Why? Because of his or her involvement with the death of Mr. Nichols, Tyre Nichols. Now, according to one insider, up to 12 police officers were actually there at the scene at one time. You now have 7 who have been either officially charged or there's a protocol internally due to an investigation. They have been removed. Some were suspended without us knowing. I will get into that in just a moment. Also, 3 EMT workers, firefighters, who were trained to render aid. Well, let's put them up. All right. You're looking at Robert Long, Jamichael Sandridge, and Michelle Whitaker. A white male, a black male, and a black female. These are the 3 EMTs who responded to the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols. They were fired Monday after an internal investigation by the Memphis Fire Department. They were found to have violated multiple department policies and protocols in their patient response to Nichols on January 7th. The fire department said in a statement, their actions or inactions on the scene that night do not meet the expectations of the Memphis Fire Department and are not reflective of the outstanding service the men and women of the Memphis Fire Department provide daily in our community. Put up the pictures again. To the fire department, you're lying. Let me tell you why. You have a black male, a white male, and a black female. The reason why I bring that front and center in this conversation is because they do not share a cultural connection other than the culture of the industry of being a firefighter in your city. Is it a coincidence that these firefighters of different genders and racial backgrounds were all on the same page as the individuals who decided to use their bare hands to beat a man to death in Memphis? Is it a coincidence that all of them expressed the same lack of value for a human being in front of them? You do not have a policy issue in Memphis. You have a cultural issue in Memphis. There's more. Remember the 6th guy who it seems was being hidden, the 6th cop. As we reported yesterday, the Memphis police confirmed the 6th Memphis police officer, Preston Hemphill, has now been relieved of duty. Additionally, Memphis police said a 7th officer, number 7 now, who responded was also relieved of duty. In a statement, the agency did not identify the 7th officer. Once again, lack of transparency, they're not learning their lesson here. Or say whether the person would face departmental or criminal charges. Officer Preston Hemphill and other officers' actions and inactions have been and continue to be part of an investigation since its inception. On the 8th of this month, the day after Nichols' traffic stop and the day all 7 officers were relieved of duty, the department said. The statement added that numerous impending charges are now developing. It isn't clear which officers may be charged. We expect the next phase of the personnel actions in the coming days. The department said in the statement, Memphis attorney Lee Gerald confirmed Monday his client was at the scene of the traffic stop and had activated his body camera. Video 1 is his body cam footage, the attorney said in the statement. He said the officer was never present at the scene where 5 officers who have been charged with 2nd-degree murder and other crimes were seen beating Nichols. Officer Henfield's actions and involvement has been under investigation as he participated in the initial traffic stop and the use of a taser. The department said in a statement on Monday, 3 Memphis fire personnel, once again, they've been fired for their response to the fatal police beating of Tyre Nichols. all of them should have charges. So let me tell you why. It's aiding and abetting. It's real simple. You provide an atmosphere, you provide safety, you provide cover. You are the catalyst for the criminal activity. If the individuals did not have uniforms like a police uniform or a firefighter uniform, they would all be charged with a very similar crime. But there's nuance given their colors. Let's put up the 5 who have been charged, okay? You see these 5 individuals. These monsters are Justin Smith, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., Demetrius Haley, and Tadarius Bean. They were fired on January 20th after an administrative investigation found they violated department policy. You don't say. They violated policy about use of force. They were hired from 2017 to 2020. Asked why the department did not announce actions against Hemphill the day it announced the actions against the 5, the police said this: the other 5 officers' names were announced when they were charged departmentally, then subsequently charged criminally. Officer Hemphill has not received departmental or criminal charges. As we have advised, the investigation is ongoing. Officer Hemphill's name came out after it was heard in the video from the Tyre Nichols scene that was released Friday evening. We're simply confirming he is relieved of duty. Isn't that something? They said, well, the reason why we told you these officers is because we decided to go ahead and give them criminal charges. But the person we found to be, let's say, in violation of policy that still contributed to the death of a human being, we're not going to tell you his name because we're not charging him with a criminal act at the moment. Does that make sense to you at all? Oh, so you don't tell us the name of the person involved that you concluded violated departmental policy, which led to the death of a human being. You're not going to tell the public who pays you the whole truth. We have to figure it out. There's more. That answer was not sufficient for my dear brother Ben Crump. The news today from Memphis officials that Officer Preston Hemphill was reportedly relieved of duty weeks ago, but not yet terminated or charged, is extremely disappointing, he said. Why is his identity and the role he played in Tyre's death just now coming to light? A lot of us have that same question. As a matter of fact, the first time I heard that a white male was involved in the death of Mr. Tyre Nichols was from somebody on TikTok who heard the name, saw the video, paid very close attention, and started making noise about the name. And all of a sudden, the name got leaked. There's more. Crump added this: we have asked from the beginning that the Memphis Police Department be transparent with the family and the community. So what is he indicating? He's indicating they did not even tell the truth to the family of Mr. Nichols. This news seems to indicate, according to Crump, that they have not risen to the occasion. It certainly begs the question why the white officer involved in this brutal attack was shielded and protected from the public eye, and to date, from sufficient discipline and accountability. The Memphis Police Department owes us all answers. And I agree 100%. I've known Benjamin Crump for years. The way he worded that last proclamation and question about these or this cop not being charged as of yet, it lets me know that he has a good faith basis to believe that at some point this cop may actually get charged based on what he did or did not do. Remember, when you are an officer, you have a certain duty. When you are a paramedic, an EMT worker, you have a responsibility. This responsibility is statutorily mandated because of your position of public trust. There are certain things you can engage in as an emergency worker that would be completely illegal for you, but legal for others who are not. We will see if that level of accountability is allocated to those who all contributed to the death of Mr. Nichols. Story continues. Sharon, what are your thoughts on this?
So many been so angry. And let me say this about Brother Crump. He's one man and there's just too much for him to do. He's built for it, but there's too much for one man to do. You can't even in the midst of all this, do the right thing. And that is why I do not support Chief Davis and this whole psychological game that's being played with people, okay? It's all a big lie. It's all a big lie, Dr. Richey. The EMTs, triplets of trifling, non-care. It's the whole thing is triggering, and it just seems like it keeps coming and coming and coming. TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, an indication of culture. That's what has to get fixed. We will update the story as it continues to develop.